You are the woman who gets to choose what happens next, who gets to choose where you're going to go from here. You get to choose that. Just because those thoughts show up for you, just because those raw emotions, those old fears, those old feelings, doesn't mean they get to lead. All right. And when you feel that sting of disappointment, of not enoughness, of not feeling worthy, of not loving yourself, of fear, that is not your identity unraveling. All right. That is literally your nervous system doing what it is designed to do because it thinks it's keeping you safe. From my path and my journey, I hope that I can provide value for you to make you feel validated in your journey. No, it doesn't have to be as big as a pageant, right? That was a big leap. It was crazy. Am I going to do it again? I don't know. Maybe. I may or may not be like critiquing and figuring out what I got to do next. It doesn't have to be something that big though. It could be as simple as standing up for yourself. Okay. But you have the awareness to choose differently, to pause, to check in, to remember what's true. Old me would have let those voices taken over and believed what they were trying to tell me. Old me would have felt silly for feeling the emotions and the grief that I felt because those voices would have been telling me how silly that you're this upset over this. Guys, I'm a competitive person. And it hurts when we don't win, right? Especially when we're competitive. And even if we're not, when we walk into something with an expectation and those expectations aren't met, naturally, we're disappointed. Old me would have been uncomfortable, I should say, with being disappointed. Old me would have told myself it's not acceptable to feel those emotions. But because I've put this work in, because I have dug deep, I knew that facing those voices and stopping them in their tracks and feeling the grief that I was feeling was okay. I took a moment to pause. I took a moment to check in with myself and then to remember, again, the work that I've put in. That I am worthy, that I'm amazing for showing up and doing what I did. And that is what it means to activate your inner compass. That is the first pillar within my mastermind. It's not about never doubting again. We're still going to doubt. We're humans. Rather, it's about learning to recognize when you're being pulled off course, when you're being pulled back into those old ways, and then gently being able to turn back towards the truth. So with that being said, what I came back to was that confidence is not about silencing your self-doubt. All right. It's about knowing who you are, even when that doubt is screaming at you super loud. I really had to remind myself that disappointment doesn't always rewrite my worth, that a slow season does not make me any less called, that the not enough voice is old. It's familiar, but it's not true. It holds no truth over me. It is a liar. And rather your inner compass, she's going to be the quiet one. She's not going to be loud like your fear is. All right. She is steady, but she is rooted in your truth. And that truth is you don't have to earn what you've already been given.